Welcome to Halifax, Nova Scotia. We did not have an excursion booked for this day, and we didn't really need one. There's a lot to see and do within walking distance. After getting off the ship at Pier 21, we walked along the boardwalk, or Halifax harbourwalk. It's over 2 miles, a waterfront boardwalk with shops, food vendors, art installations. We didn't get to walk all of the boardwalk as we were heading up to the Public Gardens. There were lots of nice potted plants along the way as well.
It was a former wetland covered with brambles.
Uh-huh.
And it only cost $2,000.
$2,000 to do the whole park?
Yeah. Now, of course, that was in 1837 money.
1837.
Yeah.
The gardens are 16 acres with 3 fountains, 2 stone bridges, statues, a pond with a model of the Titanic, and a bandstand. It is one of the only surviving examples of Victorian gardens in North America. This is the Victorian Bandstand. They still have concerts here once a week through the summer. And I think, if I remember correctly, I played here in a band in 1973.
This is the Dahlia display, and they all have names. There's some that are really pretty, like this one. And Mr. Bumblebee seems to like it as well. And this one's just huge.
Our next stop was the Halifax Citadel. There have been fortifications here since 1749. Initially, it was built to counteract Louisbourg, which we will be visiting tomorrow. Back then, there was a need for a fort because the Micmac, Acadians, and French all attacked Halifax at one time or another. It's a strategic position up here on this big hill. So I believe that I was here in Halifax in like 1972 or 73. And my impression of it was that it reminded me a lot of New Westminster. And it reminded me of New Westminster because
It's all on a hill. And it's all climbing. Climbing, climbing, climbing. I'm just taking a rest right now because there's a lot of climbing.
The Citadel is now run by Parks Canada, and the soldiers in uniform are reenacting 1869. The ditch on either side here was never a moat, but the idea was that the enemy would scale the wall, then fall into the ditch and hopefully injure themselves. Historically, there were 4 fortifications here through time, some made of wood. Halifax Harbour had strategic importance to the Royal Navy, and after the American Revolution of 1776, some villages in Nova Scotia were attacked, but not the Citadel. By the 1950s, Halifax saw the historic and tourist potential of the site, and in the 90s it was rebuilt and restored. The reenactors have set the fort in 1869 when the 78th Highlanders were stationed at Halifax. They were only there for 3 years, a total of 765 men with 6 pipers. When they left, they took 17 local lassies that they had married. Now, we're here to see a man with a big gun. Now that is the big gun right there. And you can see there's lots of people hanging around to see what they're going to do with their big gun. So we were all there waiting and watching, also looking for it to reach noon, as it was the noon cannon, with hushed anticipation.
I told you, Boom.
I thought it would have been way loud.
That was a good boom.
After the Big Bang, I joined a tour by one of the reenactors. Jim abandoned the plan and went back to the ship for lunch. I stayed for a bit, but then left. I missed almost all the displays and the Army Museum that they have there, but I was just running out of time. Pier 21 is the former ocean liner terminal and immigration shed, and was used until 1971. As the cruise industry became more popular in the 1980s, Halifax was looked at as a stop. It had a harbor, dock, and was a nice little town, and I really enjoyed the stop. However, Pier 21 was also the port of entry for over 1 million immigrants between 1928 and 1971. The steamship brought them to Halifax. They were processed at the pier. Then they traveled by train to whatever part of Canada, probably Toronto, but maybe points west, that they were traveling to. So this is a site of historic significance, and in 2010, they opened the Canadian Museum of Immigration. I think that this CN rail car on display outside the museum represents the path immigrants took from steamship to immigration shed to train.